I began the house on Mongo Street over one weekend when I was in graduate school. It's very clear to me that when that was, it was my second semester in graduate school at the University of Iowa in Iowa City. So I was 22 years old, and I'd been having a very difficult time in graduate program in poetry. I was not in the fiction workshop, I was in the poetry workshop. And I had a weekend when I really had a breakthrough after a seminar in which we were talking about House of Memory and the imagination. And it occurred to me in that seminar that we had never, in all my years of my education, ever talked about my house. I had seen other houses in literature and in media and in magazines, but I'd never seen my house. And when my culture was portrayed, it was always portrayed in a way that I thought was a lie. So that weekend, I had this moment when I was in the seminar, and I thought, I'm the only person in this room that doesn't have this house that we see on television and in film and in books. I'm the only person that has lived on top of a storefront or in an apartment building that shabby looking, or a house like the one that we moved into in middle school. I thought of all these neighborhoods and people, and at first it filled me with a sense of horror and a sense of shame, thinking, oh my, I don't have what everyone else had. Maybe I don't belong here. Maybe I should go back to Chicago and become a high school teacher like I originally planned. Maybe I'm not a writer. But then after a while, the good thing about my depression is after I sit with it long enough, then I get mad. And anger, as long as you don't use it against yourself, if you use it in a positive way, is a wonderful energy that could be used to a positive good. So I started asking, well, how come I haven't seen my house? Why have I never seen myself in books? And I decided to write a story that no one in my workshop would say I was wrong. And this is the key when I teach writing. What can I write about that no one else in this room can write about? And basically that's the answer when people say, you know, what should I write about? And the writer says, write what you know. But if you're 22 years old and you've never left home, how do you know what you know, right? And for me, that was the beginning of asking those questions. What is it that I know at 22 years of age, a very sheltered daughter of a Mexican man and a Mexican-American mother who's never gone anywhere without my brothers or family members? What do I know? And that's how House on Mongo Street was born. That weekend, I started writing about what it is I knew that only I knew. In poetry, the stories all came out of a flood that weekend after a semester of writer's block. But I'm convinced that writer's block doesn't mean you don't have anything to say. Writer's block means you're afraid to say what you really have to say.